All right, here we are. It is Wednesday, and I am giving you Mind Blowing Monday 1, 2, 3, the visual experience. All right. So I'm getting it together. So this marks the 30th edition of the paper version of Mind Blowing Monday 1, 2, 3. And time flies when you are aligned with your purpose. I can't believe it's been 30 editions that I've done so far. If you missed any of them, you can find them all on LinkedIn. So, what began as an idea, just kind of a little whisper from the universe, has blossomed into a living, breathing community of readers and watchers and followers who are dreaming bigger, who are creating with more intentionality, and who are doing the inner and outer work to build really joyful and authentic lives. So, thank you so much for being here, for showing up as I continue to show up. But I would call this cycle of transformation dream, create, do, right? So first we have to dream. So we have to learn to use our imaginations to think of what is possible for us. And then we can create some structure and a vision around that, and then a lot of people, really you can get stuck in any one of these phases, but sometimes we get stuck on the do. We might just be dreaming and planning, but we don't get into the doing. So the doing is the part where you take not just action, but inspired action, aligned action to watch your dreams unfold. So when I first started my business back in 2019, my very first workshop series, like yoga series that I created, was called The Courage to Dream. Because I realized that sometimes the dreaming is the hardest part. We may fear even getting started because so many people have already told us the limits on our lives, and we believe them. For some of us, we have big dreams, but fear creeps in when it's time to make that first step and build a plan. And then for other folks, we can dream and create a plan, but we get stuck when it's time to put ourselves out there and be seen and execute on the plan. And many of the times it's fear that keeps us stuck. Sometimes it's perfectionism that gets in the way. And then often it's just the weight of, everyday obligations, things that we have to do where we bury our dreams under to-do lists or distractions. And that's why it's so important to pause, to breathe, and to see your vision again. When you reconnect with your dreams, you reconnect with your own power and your own authenticity. I'm flipping through my pages here. So the final months, now we're in November. So the final months leading into the new year are some of my favorites to check in with myself and my dreams. So I do this on my own every year. And it's also a time for me to help you create a space for your dreams too. You can wait until January. Last year I didn't do anything until January because I had lost my sister, and last year was just crazy. So this year I'm back on track because when you wait until January, time flies. And by the time January gets here, you may already feel behind, you may feel too late. So remember, every time I do this, you're going to get one quote, two questions, and three ways to lead with joy for the week. So my quote for today is from Pablo Picasso. Everything you imagine is real. Everything you imagine is real. So, imagination is the birthplace of all creation. If you follow quantum theory or the law of attraction, the idea that thoughts have a frequency and all potentialities exist in the quantum field is not new. But even if we don't go into all this energetic science stuff, we know that nothing exists without first being imagined. Somebody imagined the company that made the coffee that you probably drank this morning. Somebody imagined the design for the room that I'm sitting in and the house that I'm living in. And somebody imagined the artwork that's on our walls, probably on the wall in the office or the home that you're in. So creativity is more than just dance, art, entertainment, TV shows, movies. It's business, it's design, and it's even thought leadership. We're always creating, and if we're not, we should be. So as you move through your week, I want you to ask yourself, what dream have you buried under fear, busyness, or doubt that still quietly calls you? Maybe you're like I was and want to write or have your own business. Or perhaps you're longing for a soulmate or a partner. Maybe you have a hobby that you want to pursue, like roller skating or painting or yoga or running. So think about that. What dream have you buried under fear, busyness, or doubt that still quietly calls to you? All right. And the question number two for this week: what small inspired action could you take this week to move closer to your dream? Remember, clarity does not come from overthinking. It does not come from perfectionism. It comes from doing. So if you're not sure where to begin, I have the perfect opportunity for you. So you can join me November 20th. I'm going to give you the details when we get to the end, but I'm hosting my Dream, Create, Do signature series. And okay, I'll get to the details later. I just want to drop that in. So, 3 ways to lead with joy this week. Here are a few ways to move from dreaming to doing this week. The first one, create some space for inspiration. Whether it's with me, someone else, or on your own, give yourself room. So you could schedule 1 hour this week to focus solely on your vision. No distractions, no limitations, just you and your imagination. So that might be relaxing in your bedroom. It could be, sitting in your sunroom. It could be sitting in the bathtub. I do a lot of things sitting in my car. So just creating that space for yourself. And of course, you can join me November 20th. I'll tell you all about it in a sec. Um, and then the next way to lead with joy this week, to move from dreaming to doing, is to bring your dream into some form. So you could write it down, you could draw a picture of it. I have a whole thing drawn on the chart next to me, which you can't see. You can sit down and visualize it. Or you could or you can build a vision board, which is one of my favorite things to do. I have so many of them. You can actually check them out on my website if you want to see previous vision boards. But create something that speaks to your next chapter, whatever that dream is for you. So seeing your vision helps your mind believe that it's possible. It's why representation is so important, right? It's hard for us to imagine doing something if we haven't seen anyone else do it, or if we even haven't seen like a visual representation of it. So create something that's tangible, that's visual, that holds your dream for you. And then number three, take one aligned step. So send the email, research the retreat, sign up for the class. The smallest little act of faith can ignite the biggest wave of momentum for you. So your dream is waiting for you to nurture it, to believe in it, and to bring it into reality. If you're ready to move from vision to action, I would love to support you in that journey. Let's dream, create, and do together. If you made it this far, you're already doing the work. You're part of the 1%. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. I wish you freedom, alignment, and effortless abundance. Now, let's get into these details. So, the first PS is if you are really ready, and you have to be ready, right? It's not for you if you're not ready. But if you're ready to nurture your dreams for the year ahead, which is 2026, I invite you to join me for Dream Create Do. It is a soulful 3 session digital vision boarding experience designed to help you move your vision out of your head and into the world. So you'll get live sessions with me, guided meditations, and a beautiful new participant guide that I'm working on now to help you dream bigger, create boldly, and do with intention. So there is an early entry bonus that I'm offering. If you register in November, the investment is $111. That can be applied as a credit toward a special mind-blowing happiness coaching package. I will put the link here so you can go on the site and check it out and see if it's something that you're interested in. I would love to have you. And then my other PPS on this week's newsletter is that applications are now open for the Ghana Soul Healing Retreat. It's going to be November 2nd to the 10th of 2026. This retreat is a beautiful, beautiful sacred journey of self-love, ancestral connection, and expansion. So it's an opportunity to release old patterns, to reconnect with your roots, and return home to yourself. So if you feel the call, don't wait. I will put the link for that as well. You can fill out your application at ghanaretreat.com. You'll get all the details, you'll get updates, and you will also, learn about exclusive opportunities. And you are invited to attend our information session and get all your questions answered. It's going to be Wednesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So that's it from me. I know I am so behind, but I am just trying to be consistent. A friend had asked that I do my newsletter as audiovisual as well. And so here I am on YouTube giving you my newsletter. I hope you enjoy it. And I will see you guys next week.